Thank you everyone for coming. My name is Robert Axelsen. Besides from organizing this meetup, I'm also going to give a talk to you today on the topic of deploying a VPN. A VPN is a virtual private network that enables it for you to connect to that server or that network from your connection when you are connected to the internet, and it gives room for you to encrypt your data and also to bypass as a proxy. If your server VPN network is in the US, it will appear most probably for the person that you are accessing the website at, for example CNN.com or whatever, that you are coming from the US and not from Austria. But let's get into the details and why I'm mentioning this today. What I'm going to cover in specifics is Outline, which is a tool that enables you to set up your own virtual private network. We'll get to the specifics soon. My name is Robert Axelsen. As I mentioned, you can find me at Rob Axelsen on most of the things. I didn't realize I put this in here, but I am actually on all the things on all the things as well. I haven't started using it actively, but I have it everywhere, and it's an alias for now. I might do something fun with it, but it was just available. I'm on all the things on all the things. I'm a software developer, a meetup organizer, and a community enthusiast. I like creating and starting and organizing meetups. I now run 3 monthly meetups, as you know, as I mentioned before. Yeah, if you want to learn more about mine and also co-organizer Daniel Deutsch's journey from learning to program, to code, to getting our first developer job, which we did recently, over the last couple of years, both me and him, you can look online at my website. You'll find links to recordings of that talk we did. Okay, enough about me. Slides for this talk are already available online in our repo, so have a look there. Also for the ones looking at the recordings, just head on over there and you can look at the slides together. No need to take notes. What inspired this talk for me was recently, I think within the last week, there was an episode at YouTube at Hack5, which, by the way, is a great YouTube channel. A big shout out to them. If you're interested in security or penetration testing or hacking, be it white hat, gray hat, or black hat, have a look at that channel. They've been around forever, and there's some really great stuff there, down to beginner intros on what to do in the command line, to using Kali Linux and all kinds of stuff. So really, really, really recommend to have a look if you have any interest in that topic. Okay. So before we get into the tool that we're going to use, let's get a little bit serious, and let's talk about a guy named John. So, John, a 27-year-old journalist. Ever since he was a young teen, he learned about the widespread corruption in his country. After experiencing it firsthand himself, he has been driven to stop it. John, from an early age again, he volunteered to help with the school paper, and he learned that he had a talent for writing. It was only natural to him that he applied to study journalism in the university in the capital of his country, and he was ecstatic when he got accepted. Like, this is awesome. So John again, after having studied for a couple of years, he graduated with flying colors. He easily got a job at the top newspaper in his country. And John, he was on a path. He was really destined to get a great career, but he wanted something more. His dis-ease, there should have been a dash here because it looks like he has a disease, so sorry for that. But his dis-ease with a dash regarding corruption has never really faded since his teens, but his country had only a resemblance of a free press, and writing about corruption was at best frowned upon. Still, he felt repelled to speak up. Then, out of the blue, John was suddenly contacted by an anonymous source that had him introduced to John via a common friend, and led to believe that he could help disclose a scandal that involved highly powerful men and their corruption in their country. So John agreed to meet. A secret location was agreed upon, and they met. And John was both shocked and repulsed by the scandal his source revealed, but he knew he had to get a story published. The end. Shortly after the meeting, John mysteriously went missing, and John's story was never published. Even though this is a fictional story, clearly written by me today, mixing past and present tense, and not a work of great, we'll get to that afterwards, not a work of great writing talent. It tells the story that I think the people behind Outline wants to tell and help mitigate. To confuse you, I'll jump back in my slides, because I think I'm missing. Oh, there it is. Awesome. So, Outline was released now in March of this year by Jigsaw, which is Alphabet's cybersecurity division, supposedly by TechCrunch, stating it's their cybersecurity division. Looked a little bit into it. It looks more like they're an incubator under Alphabet. Alphabet owns Google, if you didn't know, so this is Google-backed. That has to do with geopolitical issues and how to help the world or people better protect in those spaces. So not strictly cybersecurity, but it definitely falls under that domain. Yes, that's Jigsaw. I wanted this talk to be a bit, again, back to the title, deploy, to be a bit interactive. I want to state this because I'll get back to it later. This talk is, YouTube video is 17 minutes long, and we'll cover some stuff that I won't cover today. What we'll cover now together is going to the website, downloading the tool, and then installing it and setting up our own VPN. And hopefully the demo gods are with us and the internet is stable, and we'll see if we can get this done. So let's do this. Two links we need there. One is the website to download it. The other one is my referral link to the place we can use as for hosting, a VPS for hosting this. Keep in mind, if you use this link, you will get $10 credit. I will get some credit on my part. If you prefer not to do it, it'll be apparent later on in the talk where you can go to do it without involving me. I want that to be perfectly clear, because I'm not doing this, for those reasons. And just a super quick shout out, my company, are looking for both front-end and back-end developers. If you are interested, here are the details. Contact me, email, or check on the website. Yeah, I'm a front-end developer in my team. We use Vue.js, JavaScript mainly. Have a look if you're interested. Cool. So let's do this. It's as simple as using the link, going to getoutline.org. They are framing this for journalists. But keep in mind, you could use this yourself. You would have to pay for the hosting. We'll get into that. As a monthly cost. But when you have set it up, you can, by a click of a few buttons, send a link to your friend or contact, whoever you want to connect with via a VPN, encrypted, as securely and privately as you can get. There's always potential loopholes, and with humans involved and attack vectors, like I cannot stand on stage and say you will be 100% secure. But as secure as we can get in this day and age. And then you can invite them, and they'll be connected via your VPN, and you can safely communicate with them. One thing to add about what we're going to do, or no, the reason for using such a tool is not just for journalists. If you are connected, let's say at Starbucks, which is notoriously one of the examples for you shouldn't check your online banking if you're at Starbucks or any open Wi-Fi network, because anyone that just puts up a computer and knows something, they can sniff the data and they'll figure all that stuff out. This is as safe as you can get by still being connected in the public open Wi-Fi. First, before you share anything private or sensitive, you connect via the VPN, and then you proceed to communicate what you wanted to be hidden, or you log into your online bank, or you log into Facebook, or whatever you don't want anyone else to possibly be able to snoop, right? So that's also a use case besides the journalism stuff. So we just scroll down and we go to Get Outline Managers. There's, by the way, also mobile clients. Hack5 mentioned that it's not covered on all the devices. For me, it seems like so, but there might be some caveats there. But for our demonstration now, we'll just go and get, for Linux, you can also download, so you can initially set this up via Wizard on Windows or Mac OS, and we'll see why that is the case. It's downloading down here now and over half the way through, so we'll just wait for that. In the meantime, I'll get up a terminal, and we'll soon get going. So for those of you who aren't so technical, or you don't even have to be technical to not understand what's going on right now, but I'm on Linux, and what I do now might seem esoteric. The only thing I'm doing is opening the file. So at Windows, you would just double-click the exe file, and it would happen by itself. It's a little bit more complicated here, but it's just a couple of lines of code, or command line commands. So I just have to give it, I won't go into details. The one that knows what this is knows it. So now I'll just execute it. Apparently not. Okay. Uh-huh. What? Plus X, thank you. Shout out to whoever spotted the error. We got it now. There we go. So, here we get it. Let's see, maybe I'll break it now. Yeah, we cannot maximize it. So this is as big as we get. I'll go a step back because I see it knows I already started this earlier today. So I'll sign out. This is what it will look like for you when you just open this up the first time. It does expect you to have an account at DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean is a VPS, a virtual private server provider. They compete in the space against Amazon and Google Cloud and so on. They more are in the business of giving you a dedicated virtual server at them with a certain amount of power, and then you pay per month and you do whatever you want with them, with it. You can start as low as $5 a month, and that's what this is based on. So you have to pay $5 to try this out. First, you do create an account. You can do that via here, or you can use the link I mentioned, rob.go.do, and you get $10 credit. To start this out, right now I just have to sign in. Awesome. I don't think you have to agree to any GDPR compliance and sign any papers to see my email, but since we had a talk before, let me just get my mobile ready so I can do the second two-factor authentication here. And I have to change the password. This doesn't work, but we should be covered. So you see my second email, awesome. Maybe you can hear from the way I'm typing what my password is. Awesome. Awesome. So I just gonna get one of my account passwords. Awesome. So you create your account and you just sign in. Now it might prompt me for something. Awesome. So give me 1 second. Okay. So here's the magic, and this is where I found this really great for our meetup today. That with DigitalOcean, you can choose a country that the server is in. That's also on topic today. You can choose it to be in the EU, for example. And also we're very close to Frankfurt, so that's awesome. Then I'm pressing the button, and I'm telling it to set it up for me. It is doing that, and this might take 2 minutes, it says. While we're doing that, once this is done, what we'll see will be inside my DigitalOcean account, and then we'll see that it actually has created a new server. And if you are interested, if you do this, it's an entry port to be able to log into your own server and get a little bit of feel of what Linux is and system administration, because it starts with these small experiments. It did for me. I was like, oh, what is this VPS? Can I host besides using HostGator or 1&1 or one of these hosting providers? How much knowledge would it need to do it on my own? And before I learned to program via freeCodeCamp, I took a course at Linux Academy and learned to host via the LAMP stack, Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP, using these kind of tools online. And if I didn't want to use the VPS anymore after a day, I could just destroy it and only pay for that 1 or 2 days. But it's a great way for learning these kind of things. Now we see that there is already. So this kept going on in the background. I'm just going to refresh for the sake of clarity. What this did in the background was that this is my normal server, and I'm giving you the IP address. This is awesome, so I should probably change that. It's fine, it's fine. If you know my domain name, you can find this IP address publicly available. This is the server that it created. This is its unique IP address. So if you try to attack this IP address as a hacker or whatever, what you are just directing at is the VPN server that we just set up by clicking a button. So it can be done magically easy like this. Now, the thing I won't go into detail upon now is how you would share this, because the video that I mentioned earlier that I have a link to goes into better detail of explaining this. And for me to demo this on this desktop, I would need also to have a shared screen of a phone or another desktop to show the interaction of what's going on, right? So that does that much better. We can do that at a key part. I'm not connected. Okay, get connected. Connect this device. Okay. It gives us some stuff to install. So I won't do that now with you because that's too, it doesn't give you anything. The only thing we see after this is done is that I can click a key to share with someone else. But we have done the hard part already, believe me. So we're almost done, we're almost through. But keep in mind that you can use something like DigitalOcean to do these kind of things on your own, either for a VPN, and you can be ready in a second, or you can do it for different services. If you want to host WordPress on your own, if you're interested in trying out Linux, if you want to do something like you've heard about this Ghost alternative to WordPress, or you want to set up, instead of GitHub, you want to set up GitLab for yourself or your team. If you want to play around with MySQL, there's a lot of stuff that are already there for you with a click of a button. MeanStack, for example, is MongoDB, Nginx, Angular, and Node.js. So on topic for freeCodeCamp, it's JavaScript based. And if I click here now, so I've chosen that one, I can say I want the minimum one. I want to have it in Frankfurt, and I want to have IPv6, and I want to add my SSH. Whoa. Oh, it's a public key, it's fine. And I can give it a name and create. And it goes through the same process again. And when I'm done with this, I get an IP address. I can SSH into it. That means that I can connect to it from my laptop. And I can be in an environment where I can do start from the command line to put stuff on my server, to host stuff, create an app, and already have it available as an IP, so I don't have to just have localhost on my computer. So there's tons of possibilities, but that starts by being curious about what virtual private service is, what Linux is, and how you can do these things on your own. And believe me when I say anyone can learn it. I could. I got it working. And DigitalOcean, to top it off, also has a great, I can't find a link to it, but they have a great article base, or they have a lot of how-tos on how to do these things step by step, really step by step. Anyone can do this. And you can also use these tutorials, and I really recommend it, even if you are not curious about DigitalOcean at all. If you're using something else or would like to use another provider, they have a great reputation for having really top-notch articles. And I go to them often just if there's something I'm curious about myself and, oh, how do I do this? I often first go to DigitalOcean. So enough about them, but I really mean it when I say have a look there if you're curious. And to end the talk, here are the links. Not, here they are. And thank you.